2025 at 6 p.m. And we do have a quorum. If everyone would please stand for the invocation and pledge. We'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. Rosie, do we have anybody sign up? No? Okay. We'll go to item number 5, presentation of campus reports and recognitions.
Hi, good evening. Not much has happened this summer well, we have no students there. But we did finish June with a fantastic summer school. We had about 25 students who consistently came. It was a great time. And then about 5 staff members that spent every day with them. So we're fortunate for all their hard work. Staffing, we are completely hired up in a sense, and we've offered one last position. So we're excited for the school year and the staff that we've hired. And then Meet the Teacher is coming up on Monday, August 4th. And then for enrollment, it looks like our numbers are increasing. Right now we're about 354. 68 students that are expected to return have not completed registration, so we are actively calling one by one. We have 21 students in the Skyward queue waiting to be approved for enrollment. So at this rate, we will have more students than we did last year. So that's exciting news for Venus Primary. Other than that, we're just prepping for school and we're excited. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. Hi. This is my first time, so I'm new. That's what's going on my campus. Everyone is new. I'm new. APs are new. My PEMS lady's new. Counselor is new. So we're just new over there. We are up trying to get our enrollment up. It's not quite where we were expecting it to be, where we were this time last year, but we sent out some Skyward emails this afternoon, so hopefully that will bump up a little bit. I am fully staffed except for a bilingual teacher in 4th grade for ELAR. We still are struggling to try to fill that position, so if you know anybody, send them my way. We are going to, I do have all my paras now. Everything is full except for that one position. We're gearing up for Meet the Teacher on Monday night the 4th from 6 to 8. I have teachers on my campus every day already, their rooms ready to go, and we're going to start this year off new and new and new. So it ought to be a fun year. We're excited. My campus is excited, so we're getting ready to go.
Okay, so few things happening at the middle school. One thing, we are hired up with teachers, so that is good news. We were able to fill all of our positions, including all of our coaching positions, so we were super excited about that. Big things over the summer, our Taffy kids, our 2 young ladies went and competed in Orlando, Florida, and happy to say they were first in the nation, so we were super proud of them. Their category was children's literature book, K-3 Spanish. So they did an outstanding job. And then our TSA kids went to Nashville to compete for nationals. And so the top 10 in the nation get on the stage at awards, and we had 7 different groups on the stage. So 7 different competitions we placed in the top 10 in the nation. And then we had 3 more groups that were top 16. And so we were super proud of those kiddos. All that information is listed there with some pictures. And I guess the big thing we have coming up is we have 6th grade scheduled pickup and touring the building on the 31st. So they will be excited and nervous and all the things. So thank you.
Good evening. VHS. We have 2 vacancies. One is English, and we'll have that one filled by the end of this week. The sore spot is the biology. We've had some interviews lined up, but they've decided to go to other districts, so that one may be hard to fill, but we'll keep at it. So if you know anybody, science, biology, please send them this way. Our summer events, we had football camp, and Dixon has continued his upward positive, I guess, attitude out there. The kids look different on the field. They're enjoying it. He had 60 show up on a continuum for the football camp, and I had 2 or 3 of them pull me over and told me that they will win this year. So I'm going to hold them to it. And then we had cheerleading camp. They went to Arlington for their camp, the varsity did. And then on the dance camp, we had 12 girls. I remember when that thing was at 4. She took them to Mid-Low Heritage, and they've finished with that camp, and they're back, and they have their routines, and they're excited as well. And then we are excited about Fish Camp. I've been pushing that thing out on the 29th. We have schedules ready to go. This master schedule is ready. We have about 80 students that we're having to schedule because of conflicts, but we're ahead of where we were last year. And our academic focus again this year will be our EB and SPED kids. Both of them made large gains. I see Ms. Peterson shaking her head, but the SPED group really came on pretty strong. So we'll be in English and math. And just going to need to take care of each other and continue that positive culture that we have. Thank you.
For everybody, can Ms. Buck, Ms. Whitworth, and Mr. Camacho, what are your enrollment numbers?
Yeah, it's on. I'll just talk real loud. 517 is where we're at right now, and that is up about maybe 45, 50 kids from where we ended last year.
Okay.
We only have 296. Yeah, so that's why I said we sent out a skyward. We're making phone calls now. I think a lot of them are just planning on doing it, meet the teacher, and that's going to be a very difficult night to do it. So we're trying to bump it up.
We're about 250, 270,
349.
350.
Yeah, 349 was this morning.
Well, that's good. That means we had a lot sign up at.
You did.
Are we having any plans for admin to help out at the elementary, maybe on that back to school night to help with there possibly could be a mass migration of people coming in?
Absolutely, sir. We will assist campuses all the time. Same thing. As the first day of school, we'll disperse out to different campuses and be there available all week to assist those campuses welcoming students back on campus. That's our main focus.
So the numbers y'all said, I just want to make sure I understand, that's total number of students? Okay.
There's more kids. They just
I was like, what? Okay, I was very confused.
Technically, if they haven't completed registration, they're not enrolled, so that is the real
These
number.
are the real numbers. The
Okay.
reason I was asking is because our numbers
Okay.
have fluctuated a lot since last year. No,
Wow,
ours
okay.
are down.
And my 514, that's if everybody registered, so I will have to get you the number of,
No, that's,
tell them how many have.
no, that's good. It was just I just wanted to ask them that. Thank you.
297 that have completed their registration all the way.
Number 6, Asthma 411 and district physician partner.
Hi, my name is Melissa Summers. I'm the district nurse here for Venus ISD. I'm here to talk about two different things. The first one is the establishment of a district physician partner, that being Dr. Michelle Beeson. She also works with Alvarado ISD and a few other around the district. The second is the participation in the Asthma 411 program. To begin, I'm requesting that Venus ISD partner with Dr. Michelle Beeson to serve as our district physician partner. This partnership would allow her to issue standing orders for our school nurses and to safely and legally administer over-the-counter medications in compliance with the Texas Board of Nursing and nursing regulations, along with our Nursing Practice Act. Without standing orders, our nurses are limited in their ability to treat common student complaints, such as headaches, minor pains, allergic reactions, or stomach discomfort. These are often issues that do not require a trip home, but without orders, we must request the help of parents, either to bring medication to school or to pick their student up. This not only affects our students' day, but our parents' day, and often leads to unnecessary absences, loss of instructional time, and frustrated families. Dr. Beeson would also write standing orders for emergency epinephrine, which is critical in responding to anaphylactic reactions, which are severe life-threatening allergic emergencies that can occur without a known allergy history. Having this order in place ensures we are prepared to act quickly and appropriately. In addition, Dr. Beeson can consult on district health issues, participate in our SHAC committee, interpret public health laws, and assist in emergency care planning, along with several other things. The second part of this proposal is to formalize our district partnership with Asthma 411. This is a public health initiative, and it's offered at no cost to school districts. It provides an essential safety net for students with asthma and those who have undiagnosed asthma, which is one of the leading causes of chronic school absenteeism in Texas. Through this program, Venus ISD would receive rescue albuterol inhalers and spacers for emergency use on campus, training and support for school nurses and staff in asthma management, assistance connecting families of newly diagnosed students with long-term medical care, and resources and tools to reduce asthma-related absences and hospital visits. Asthma 411 empowers school nurses to act quickly in the event of an asthma attack, especially when a student's personal inhaler is missing, empty, or expired, which happens a lot here in our district. It keeps kids in class, supports academic performance, and ensures we're taking protective steps to safeguard our student health. In closing, these initiatives, partnering with Dr. Beeson and joining Asthma 411, are not just about compliance. They are about care. They give our nurses the tools to treat and protect our students effectively. They keep our kids in class instead of sending them home or to the ER. And they strengthen our district's commitment to student safety and wellness. Thank you for your time.
Did anybody have any questions?
Oh, yeah.
I just have, so it's, I know this is gonna sound like a very dumbed down question, but is that, she would serve kind of like a teledoc?
No, she
For-
would, well, kind of like for
I mean,
questions.
if a kid comes in with something, that would give you an opportunity to reach a physician that,
Not her. We have Cook Children's Telehealth for that, where we could reach out. Dr. Beeson would just kind of be like a person we would talk to, get advice from. She would work with us, like, law-wise, or if we had, like, measles outbreak, then we could consult with her, whether we need to send information out to the district or to certain classrooms, stuff like that. And then,
so give me an example, like, completely for the idea, just there.
Yeah.
But give me an example of a standing order she would.
standing order would be like, I don't know if you guys got a copy or not. These are kind of our standing orders. Just like if a student comes in with a fever and we have to send them home, but like a lot of time at the primary, they have a fever and it's 103. So we're packing them down with ice. In this instance, we can get Tylenol. If the parent signs saying, yes, we're gonna use our standing orders, then our nurse can give that Tylenol while we wait for them to get there, because sometimes it's taking them an hour or more to come pick up their kiddos. We also have orders on here for like Benadryl, Tums, triple antibiotics, stuff that we use in our offices regularly. But with our standing orders, it just protects our nursing licenses. And it just helps like we're able to give out cough drops and ibuprofen, just stuff that we have to call parents in, like away from work. And they'll come in and they'll just take the student home instead of bringing the medication, because then they have to fill out paperwork and they have to make sure it's an unopened bottle. They're having to stop at the store on the way. It would cut all that out. We can just make a phone call. are you okay with us giving this Tylenol to your kiddo? Yes or no? Make sure they have their form signed, give them the medication, send them back to class.
You talking about anaphylaxis, would she be able to get us, the EpiPen?
Yes, she will write us a prescription for the EpiPens, and then we'll use the EpiPen for school, and they'll ship us EpiPens.
Thank you.
Yep. I believe you do have to vote on it. Yeah. For Dr. Beeson, it's $1,000 a school year. For Asthma 411, it's free.
Any other questions?
Is that budgeted, Ms. Page?
I don't know if the campuses included that, but I'm sure I can find $1,000 to not have any budget implications for it.
Is it $1,000 each campus or the whole district?
Just for the whole district.
Any other questions? Okay, so this is voted on the next meeting? Yeah, okay. Thank you. We'll go to item number 7, informational update regarding special education law changes.
All right, good thing it's nice and big. I like that. It's been a while since I submitted this, so if you'll move forward, Rosie, for me. With House Bill 2, I had 2 items for discussion, House Bill 2 and then the staff, and then the campuses have already covered that we have done well to hire our staff. So our staffing needs, I'm very excited about starting the year with some good staff. We hired some quality people and we're looking forward to that. So very little to talk about on the second item, but on House Bill 2, if you'll move forward, here are some of the provisions from House Bill 2. It allocates a substantial amount of funding to revamp the special education funding system, shifting from classroom-based to needs-based funding for students with disabilities. So our funding has been in the past based on PEIMS coding, instructional codes. This is going to be more about student needs, and the more significant needs a student has, the more weight that funding has. And so we also bill provides funding for special education assessments and for teacher training in special education. So if we'll move forward. So again, shifting from the classroom setting to being based on the individual needs of each student. This means schools will receive funding based on specific services. So if they have more related services or some critical need areas, vision, auditory impairments, those things are that require qualified individuals to provide those services, those will be funded more heavily. And moving on. So the commissioner is the one responsible for defining tiers that we're going to be placing these weights on for our budget. There's supposed to be 8 tiers, but again, more to come on that. And there will be 4 service groups. And while the tiers aren't finalized, Texas is moving towards a system where the level of special education funding a district receives will be tied to the intensity of services, like I talked about. All right, moving on. So they say for the state that increase could be around $2.2 billion to or 1.3 billion. You may have more information of how many billions, I'm not sure, but we're glad to receive any extra funding we can receive. Of course, Venus ISD is not getting the billion, as you all know. We do have new funding for $1,000 per evaluation for special education. Some of our evaluations can get pretty pricey based on how many people are involved in the related services. So this will offset some of our contracted services costs, so that will help.
For example, we evaluated initially around 64, 65 students last year. So that in and of itself will be around 65,000 if you do the math there. So a psychological portion, if we had just a school psychologist doing an evaluation and they're just one member of the team, that's going to cost between $960 to $1,200 per student. So that will help us for our contracted services. So it also, from what I'm reading, is it will help us. We do evaluate students who are not enrolled in school, but they live in the Venus ISD district. In our boundaries, we are required to evaluate them, whether they are enrolled in school or not. So we are hoping to get some additional funding for that. And then I think we're getting close here. Well, let's see. So here's one more thing that's really important. If we have any teachers we want to get certified in special education, they're going to be waiving the first administration fees that are attached to that. So if a principal wanted to encourage a teacher to get their certification, the first take is free. So those fees would be waived. So that could save someone close to around $200 for taking the special education test. And then you may know more about this, about the transportation, but there is an increase in mileage reimbursement from $1.08 to $1.13 per mile. And this is tied to CCMR points that we get for students who are in special education that show readiness for when they are graduating. And so if they get those certifications or they get enrolled in military, there are certain criteria we meet for those CCMR points. It's been increased from $2,000 per student to $4,000. So that's some additional funding that the district can receive based on CCMR. So we want all of our special education students to really participate in all opportunities that all students have the right to participate in, and that will help us. Moving on. All right, timelines. Effective September 1st, 2025. The new funding system based on the tiers, that's going to roll out next year, but everything else I believe is rolling out this year. That's the way I understood that. And moving on. This is a new requirement that we must present an overall comprehensive report regarding special education, student performance, or services. This will have to be done annually for the board, and we'll be preparing a presentation in the near future. So if you have more things that you want to know about special education, we will be preparing that. And staffing. We do have 2 contracted positions. One is a speech language pathologist assistant and a school psychologist. So we do have a couple of other contracted people that do like occupational therapy, physical therapy, but the ones that are contracted on the most regular basis are the speech language pathologist and school psychologist. And that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
Do we have a list of the number of high school students with special needs that received their CCMR credits?
We can get that information for you. That's something I would have to work individually by breaking out the data.
Last year we were at 92% overall for general, so just usually the SPED population reflects that as well.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to item 8, legal policy updates as listed in policy update 125, which includes a lot. These were sent to us. Did anybody have any questions on anything, or is there anything, Mr. Gatewood, that you want to speak to, or?
I know, ma'am. It's just basically you have some that deals with accountability, such as AIC legal, AIE legal, those deal with accountability. Then you have some that deals with board governance and committees, which is with your FL legal, FM legal. And also some deals with student disciplines such as FO legal, which FO legal is going to be a big change for our elementary students because elementary students are now allowed to be suspended out of school. So that is a legal change that the state has made. So I did have the principals here in the meeting today, and that's something we need to communicate to the parents. So that is the biggest one that I wanted to speak on, that our parents may not be aware that elementary kids can now be suspended out of school.
Is the requirement, is the cell phone ban in this update?
No, sir, that was a separate bill, but the cell phone, we did talk about the cell phone today. The campus principals are coming up with a uniform policy on consequences, which I'll present to the board, and that's something we want to communicate to the parents. We've already communicated one time, but we haven't communicated the consequences for it.
I just know in the bill it said something about providing a equipment or a place to put them.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if we've addressed that at all.
Yes, sir.
That's not in this, it's not.
But we've addressed that, sir. Most districts, I did check with other districts, they're viewing the students' backpack as a secure place to put their phones. They're not purchasing Yonder pouches because Yonder pouches would be like over $100,000 on the district's back to support. I don't know if we want to go, if the bill states we could either have the students put them away in a secure place or we can outlaw them altogether, but that impacts our secondary students. A lot of our secondary students rely upon their cell phones to arrange for transportation after school activities. Yes, sir.
Any other questions? No? Okay, we'll go to item number 9, executive session at 6:26 for 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, 551.082, and 551.0821. Consent agenda. Did anybody want to pull anything out or have any questions about anything on the consent agenda? No. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 12, consider approval of spring 2026 VHS band trip.
I'm just here to, if y'all have any questions or concerns, to answer. The band trip is, we're going to Branson, Missouri, hopefully spring of 2026, leaving on Thursday before spring break, coming back on late Sunday night. And the cost per trip is $1,000, just like $1,000.49, I think, or what did I put, 29? $1,029 per student, and that's at quad occupancy on a charter bus with insurance and all that stuff. And also in the cost of the meals, or in the cost of that $1,000 is every child's meal. So a student doesn't have to bring any extra money to pay for any meals. Lots of parents' concerns from years past was, you know, we had to pay for kids' meals. They ran out of money. It's all built in there, so every child will have a meal, have money for a meal. And we will have a workshop and a public performance, as well as having a little bit of fun time. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know it says the students are responsible for the cost of the trip and help from the band boosters or any fundraising. Are we 150% sure that every student that wants to go is going to be able to go no matter what, if they have the money or not?
Yes, I believe so. With fundraisers and stuff like that, we'll work between me and the boosters. We'll work real hard. We're trying to set up a program where the more the parent helps, they can earn money for their child's trip without it coming out of their pocket. So we're working on that. We'll see exactly how many are going to go on the trip when we do our deposit, which is probably the end of September.
Okay,
not right
'cause
away.
I would just never want it to be that any child that wanted to go could not go because of money.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 100% agreement with you.
Okay.
Just like with band fees, if a child can't afford the band fees or something like that, we always work it out where we can figure it out for the child, because they're number one.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Is this a competition or just a learning thing? Or?
Yes, it has an educational component. We will work with one of the stage shows that they have there. They'll kind of give us like a clinic, and then we'll do a public performance. They have I don't know if you've ever been to Branson, but they have this big boardwalk, like outdoor mall on the river. We'll perform out there.
Okay.
So there will be performance opportunities and that workshop as well.
My understanding is we were approving the funding for an administrator and a band director. I thought that's what we were approving, not the cost of the entire trip.
No, yeah, it's just to go out of state. There is the cost. The band directors you don't have to pay for a band director, and the cost of an administrator is included in that. So it won't be any money out of pocket. Yeah, that's it.
Any other questions? No? Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the out-of-state for 2026 band to Branson.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have fun.
Oh, we will.
Item number 13, consider approval of TransFinder Plus.
Good evening. All right, so I've been working with Ms. Page for TransFinder. She has set up a sum of money aside to rebuild the bus.
However, I previously brought up TransFinder as for software, much better. And we looked over some of the costs. It's user friendly and more cost effective in the overall long run, and it's pupil forward, which means it was built for students and for the ease of routing. So in lieu of a new bus, I'm requesting that we go to TransFinder. So our first year for the software is $47,170, and that includes the startup fees, the training, and any setup assistance costs. It does not include the hardware, but that's going to be the next the item on the agenda is the hardware. But this includes everything we need to, and it includes tracking.
How much is the hardware?
The hardware is through CDW is $30,395.
Now, it's been a while since we've talked, I think, about this software, but you've used this in the past?
Correct. I've used this in the past. I'm very familiar with it. There's a lot of, actually, since we last discussed, there's been some additional features to it that will ease parent communication. And so there's not a lot of the background that we have to do. It's already set up.
So if we did not go to this, what would be the cost to renew with what we already have?
Well, last year it was $32,600, and it significantly goes up every year.
But we don't have that number. We don't know what that amount would be.
No.
Does it not fall into the quotes?
Our second year for TransFinder would be $24,950, which would be $11,000, or which would be a significant drop, and it would keep us with the tracking, parent communication. You would get the bus tracking on there. The parents would be notified automatically if their child scanned onto the bus and scanned off the bus.
So what I remember, and I don't have a child that's getting on and off a bus.
Correct.
So, but I think we were having problems with if the students aren't scanning, it's not going to fix it anyway. Are they scanning? I mean, like, what's our percentage of scans now?
That I am unsure of. But now with the update, so what we're having problems with is that the tablets are outdated. This would significantly update our tablets. And with the children that are assigned to the stop, their picture would show up on the tablet, and the driver could touch the picture, and it would automatically put the student on the bus, and it would notify the parent. So the new parent app, the new update that had happened since we last talked, is that the parents will get an ETA of when the bus will arrive. They'll get notified when their child scans. They'll get notified when their child scans off. If a bus is if we're needing a sub bus goes down. Currently, I have to go into NFT, take about 2-3 minutes to notify the parents on push notifications. The ease of this is they take the tablet that the driver is registered into, put it into the new sub bus, and the parents automatically notified that a sub bus is on their way.
So is it the same tablets that we have now?
No, it is a newer tablet. Right now we have Android 9s. We will have Android 12s.
So with this, we get all the tablets and the software?
No.
This is just get the software.
This is the software.
CDW is going to be all, that's totally separate. It's just,
Correct.
CDW is just computers.
Correct.
Okay, I see.
So when we discussed this, I believe it was last August, through TransFinder at that time, including software, was $126,000. I worked with Warren, and we went to CDW, which is our next item. We got it significantly down.
Mm-hmm. Have we looked at other software or other?
We have, and it's more. It's significantly more. I've looked at Easy Routing. I have looked at Busology. There's just a few different things. You have to continue to go to different pages, and everything's not all on one page.
My concern is, I'm sorry, Randall.
Oh,
I know
you go
keep-
ahead,
I've
Mrs.
had my
Madam
light on the
President.
whole time.
No, you've got the floor.
My concern is we keep
Securely.
changing softwares because I think, how long have we had the one we have now?
3 years.
We've had it 3 years.
And Tasha still, Colton has never been found in the system.
He's about to graduate.
I mean, you're right, so I don't need to be found.
And then what did we have before that? We had something else before that, right?
Yeah, it was, it started with an S.
Yeah,
And
it was something.
It was very difficult. It was a software based, and so you had to have somebody come in and update your software. Before that, it was TransFinder Pro, which was a software base as well, and so it didn't have any ease. With this, with TransFinder, it's very easy to do route scenarios. We have the new school the campuses that's going to be coming in. I could actually make another queue, take our routes where they're at, design them without affecting the current routes that we have. With the software that we have right now, I cannot manipulate routes without affecting the current routes we have.
Gotcha.
So I'm unable to do route scenarios.
Okay.
On average, how much does a bus cost?
A new one, about 163.
So the 77,470, right, is what it would cost total. What happens in the event that we need a new bus this year?
I have actually combined a route. I have several buses, and we do have multiple multiple buses for backup buses.
So if we combine routes, what does the crowding look? I would just hate for us to combine routes and overcrowd buses just to get new software.
No,
so
we
when
have
talk about crowding and mixing of students and how that looks, because I know we went to fewer stops.
Correct.
Compared to what we had before.
None of our bus routes go over 60. I don't think any of our bus
60
routes have
kids?
any 60 kids, and most of our buses are 77 passengers.
3 to a seat, if you go 3 to a seat.
Correct.
Okay, I have one question. I believe in looking through all the information that the card readers installation is not included in this price, that Darren or someone that we would contract with would have to install all the card readers in the existing buses, is that correct?
Correct.
So that's not included in this price?
No, because we currently have card readers, and so we have already the wires and the lines, that it's just a matter of taking them out and putting the correct card reader in with it, because we do have to order the card readers through TransFinder. They're set up to be with the TransFinder software, and so Darren can change those out.
And then there was some indication that there was some individual students that would have to be hand entered into the system.
That's if they do not have their card. So if they don't have their card, what I love about this, and I went to a convention this summer, and when they did we drove on a bus around downtown Fort Worth. And so when we got to a stop, it popped up the student's name with picture, very visible that you can see it. And all the driver has to do is hit the student's face, name, and then click that they are riding the bus.
So to pay for this changeover, we are sacrificing a new bus, which we have already approved to buy. Is that correct?
A new bus itself would cost $163,000. But we are sacrificing a new bus to get a program that is safer for student travel, that is more communicative to parents, that will ease the driver's anxiety over a tablet that is possibly not working, and give that time to the driver to have those morning conversations with the student and focus on the safety of their route.
I know starting off with this software that we're currently using, we had all kind of problems. Ending up last year, was what we're currently using usable and satisfactory, or are we still having tons of problems with it?
We are having a lot of problems with it. It is unsatisfactory. I will go into a little bit of my background. I'm a router, and if I was to pick this program as a router, it's not user-friendly. It is very difficult to route and make a route. You can't make mock scenarios. You cannot disturb a route without changing an existing route that's already done. So it significantly changes, and it's not user-friendly.
Aside from not being user-friendly, is it doing the job? Are the parents basically happy with it?
From what I understand, a lot of parents aren't getting the push notifications. I don't think it has the necessary capabilities to communicate with the parents as needed or as they need. I don't think it tells you when the student gets on the bus or when they get off the bus.
So I'm sorry, I'm gonna come back to you. So when you say, because I'd asked a question around, sorry, my notes, about kids on the bus. You said, I don't think there's more than 60 kids, and then you said, I don't think this. I would just like definitive answers, say that affirm there are no more than 60 kids on a route, or there are no more than, because when I hear you say, I think, or it sounds like we don't know, and when we're talking about putting kids on buses, like if we say, well, I think, but I mean, that to me, that's an answer. If I'm asking about overcrowding, I would like for you to say 100% we don't have any more than 60 kids on a bus.
Okay, well, right
And
now
tied
we
with-
didn't.
And tied with not getting a new bus.
Exactly.
Well, right now we did not. Last year we did not have any crowding on the bus till the end when a driver had left. At that point, I had to modify a route, and so we had two. There wasn't significant overcrowding. It was a little cozy, but did we have enough seats? Yes, we did. So there's no overcrowding. There's no.
Not at the 72 or 70 kids or whatever the max is on the bus. We're not maxing out the buses, is what we're saying, but it still can be crowded with three to a seat.
It was only the last few weeks of school that we were a little cozy. After that, I have adjusted routes this year, and the reason I'm saying I think is because right now I'm in the middle of routes, and we just had the rollover, so I haven't been able to definitively put kids on the route. But I have that one route that we combined. I've separated and adjusted those routes so that there won't be that overcrowding on that one specific route.
And so is this another app that parents are going to have to download and get familiar with?
This will be a better app that the parents will have to download.
So
and
yes, they will have to download another app and get familiar with the app. And so will this be ready to go on the first day of school?
It will not. They have to set the foundation. They have to get the maps. I will have TransFinder or NFT for the first couple of months as we're doing the transitions over. With our next item agenda with the CDW, the tablets, during that time, Darren can change over the hardware that's currently in the bus while TransFinder is doing the foundation work, the groundwork to get this rolling.
So, first question from Ms. Page. So legally, since this isn't a sole source, shouldn't we have to get 3 quotes?
We do have what we've currently using, so we do know that this is cheaper than what we are currently using. So 3 quotes aren't required, preferred, but not required.
So the next group that comes in with a purchase of this size that doesn't get 3 quotes, are we gonna let them present it as well?
We certainly can go back and get the third one that she had talked about that I don't think she's got an official quote from as well.
Well, I'm just consistency
Yeah,
guy. So
yes.
if our policy or our procedure states this is what we need to be doing, then it has nothing to do with whether it's TransFinder or not. It just has to do with being consistent to every group on procedures. Number 2, are the card readers that Mr. Russell was talking about, are they included in this price?
They are included in the TransFinder price, yes.
Installations.
Yeah, so my third question is that what level of overtime is Darren gonna have to pull to not only do his regular job, we all know we have one person, but also find time to install?
Actually talking to him, and he said that he can get it done, knocked out pretty quick because we already have the current hardware on the bus from NFT. It's just a matter of taking it out and putting the other one in. He said he can knock it out fairly quick.
So you're saying the wiring, everything's the same, it's plug and play as far as installation goes.
Pretty much, yep.
So, but it's a lot of additional work on somebody who's already at a level that, so, and finally, I know Mr. Russell touched on this, so being in the district as long as we've had multiple of these programs. Every one of them has been sold as the next greatest thing, and none of them have, they all work out the exact same thing. And 4 years from now, we're gonna be sitting here talking about X, Y, Z that is so much better. I just don't, it's almost like curriculum. We change it every year. It's like we find the next best thing. Only reason I say that is we budgeted for a new bus, correct? That's what we're using the money that the board agreed to budget for a new bus. Now we're taking the fiscal responsibility. Take a part of that money that we allotted for a new bus, and so if somebody came and said we need money for a new bus, the board approved money for a new bus. Now all of a sudden we've reallocated that money to do something else with it. So those are comments more than questions, I guess. I don't know. If it's a need and we needed a bus, I don't understand why we needed a bus preparing for the budget year, but now we don't need a bus anymore. So those are just questions.
Yeah, is the need for that bus no longer there? Like, we were told that we need a new bus, here's why. I can't remember exactly what was said, but has that need changed to where that bus was just gonna be kind of an extra, a backup? I mean, has that part changed?
There's been a process for bus replacements that was discussed. Currently, I have 7 buses that could be backup buses if a route bus goes down. I have 3 backup sped buses if a sped bus goes down. Currently, right now, the need is to get a program where I can find a student in the software.
Oh, I know. I mean, I agree that the existing program has a lot of faults. I don't know anything about this one, but do y'all remember what the presentation was of why we needed to buy a new bus? Was it just because it's been time and we need to, what was the need? Do you remember? I can't remember.
If you
yeah, we did.
The need was we're on schedule to get a new bus, because if you don't buy it now, you're going to spend all the money on something else, and then we're going to need a new bus, and then it was to get into a regular rotation of buying things, so we can budget for large purchases like that.
Okay, so it wasn't we need a backup. We don't have any type of deal that.
Correct.
Right, it was just.
So what I'm requesting is to use part of the bus budget, or the money that was budgeted for a bus, to get us the startup of the program. The next couple of years, the $24,950 will actually come out of my budget to my transportation budget to pay for the upkeep. So it's the initial cost of the program. The hardware itself is a one-time fee, so that will not have to be deducted every year. There's no upkeep or any of that. This program itself is cloud-based, and so it automatically updates via satellite.
What is the
images.
With theirs? Do you know what the I forget the big fancy word, but what the expected life of this equipment is? It 3 years, 5 years? Because I mean, it's technology; it changes every 20 minutes. So how long out? Do you know how long this equipment will?
So with the tablets itself, they've done some research on it, and it actually holds up to this Texas heat. We won't have to replace it for quite a few years.
Well, no, I just mean like the updating of the technology. Is this the cutting edge type technology to where it's going to withstand updates and stuff like that over the next 5 years?
Oh, absolutely,
or
absolutely.
In 3 years, they can come back and go, well, it's outdated now. We need to replace it.
No, it'll handle updates, because right now the tablet that Warren and he actually spoke with their tech person to get the correct tablet that they are selling is the latest one that is out. It is the one that will run their program, and it could have multiple updates on it.
Because that's really my concern with technologies. It seems like as soon as you get the latest greatest stuff, 5 months later,
I
iPhone
understand that, because that was
out.
a question that we asked, and no, it does not need to be replaced. Okay. It doesn't need to be replaced every year, every couple of years. It can withstand a few years of updates, and especially if we're growing, but we're slowly growing, it can still handle the processes of what we have right now.
So this may sound a little critical, and I apologize for it, but you brought this idea to us over a year ago, because I was just coming on the board. I'm just curious as to why the end of July, because it's gonna be Christmas before this is up and running. So we're gonna buy this, it'll be Christmas before it's up and running, so all the parents are gonna have to get used to X. They're gonna use X until Y becomes available, and then we're gonna work through all the kinks of Y all the way through the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holiday seasons, and then maybe Christmas get it running. I'm just curious as to why, knowing that we wanted this over a year ago, why didn't we present this in April, knowing that the budget year is coming up, and then have it ready to where we could have it ready for the start of the school year?
Because with the fiscal year change of budget, we were actually kind of having to work through that and get things ready and prepared and stuff for Darren for the summer to start repairing buses. So it did get pushed back to the back burner. We were still getting numbers together at this point to get to you guys.
Okay, I don't know who do I need to address this to, but at one time, the board had sort of adopted a unofficial bus replacement schedule, saying that we've got 37 buses, 36, 37, in order to keep your bus fleet 12 years or younger, you're gonna have to replace approximately 3 buses a year. If you don't do that and put that into your budget, you're going to wind up in a period of 5 or 6 years, you're gonna have a bus fleet that's 12, 15 years old. So I'm a little bit reluctant to give up a bus and keeping our bus fleet fairly young. And I'm not saying a 12-year-old bus is fairly young, but you know, that's just my feeling at the moment.
No, I understand. Every bus on our lot runs. We have one that we're working on currently to get it back up and running, but every bus on our lot runs. The oldest one, I believe, actually, Mr. Jim Webb drives it. It's the welding bus, but that's the oldest bus in our fleet, and it's still a great bus. It's a 2000. It's a 2000, if not slightly older. But it's all on how you keep. You can actually keep the buses. They can run up to 18 years, and it's how you take care of them.
What would you put that bus on the road for a road bus to take a trip to put the band on it for a 100-mile trip?
Absolutely not.
Okay, point made.
So we don't know what the cost for our current software is? We just know what it was last year?
Well, last year, to renew it, it was over 60.
No, she said it was 32.6.
No, it's like 32.6, and
But we don't
it's
know-
only getting more
But you didn't find out a cost for it for this year
No.
with the update?
because they
Okay.
can change it at their whim. There in their contract it says that they can change it at any time. I just know what I pay for, and I know that there are features on it that this district needs as far as route scenarios and student safety that is unable to be done in this current routing software.
Last question from me. How many parents do we currently have? 2 questions. How many kids do we have riding the bus versus how many parents do we have? And I do understand we'll have multiples to parents, so that number's not going to be exact. But how many parents, as of last count, did we have actually registered and using the app? Because I know that was like a year over year. That last count, it was like roughly 200 to 300 maybe parents. So where are we at now with getting them using that app?
So last year I had 1,700 kids routed or on the bus, scheduled to bus. We had just over 200 parents using the app.
And that took us a while to get to the 200.
I believe if we send out a notification to parents school-wide. We can have a training on this one.
So
Discuss the-
my next question would be, what would we do differently this time? Because I know we did a lot of that. Ms. Price put a bunch of trainings up on the district. We had sent out notifications, but in order for us to get our new parents switched over, it took us almost 3 years to get 200 parents. We have 1,700 kids writing. In order for it to be beneficial to parents, right? Because right now it sounds like it's very much for you, and I totally get that, for you to be able to route, for you to be able to track the buses, but also for our parents to be able to see the kids. But if they're not using it, that doesn't sound beneficial. So what are we going to be doing differently to make sure that those parents are using that app, to make sure that that is a feature that we can definitively say that yes, it benefits not just the routing part, but that parents can actively see where their kids are and getting them registered?
We'll have to get with the schools, send out some parent squares, hold some trainings, focus forward on any of their back to school nights and things like that. Just getting it out there, getting it on the page, having training videos, maybe a snippet, work with Laura and get a small video up on Instagram or Facebook stating the Wayfinder, which is the tracking system for the student, the Stop Finder, which is the parent communication, and what all this parent communication offers.
I don't have I don't have kids that ride the bus, but from what I've heard about the existing system, that user interface is not the easiest thing to figure out. Like, it's not hard to use, but it's not easy to figure out initially. Is there a big difference in the interface that the parents will have to use with the TransFinder as compared to what we currently use? Is it a big difference? Is it simpler to use? Is it more easy to understand?
It is simpler to use. A lot of the communication with this new interface or with this new application, it won't have to be translated on our part. It will automatically come to them in whatever language that they choose. So there's a lot of ease to it and a lot of clarity to it. It's not overly complicated. It's very simple to the point. You'll get a push notification. Your student has boarded the bus. Your student has gotten off the bus. Sub bus 119 is coming in.
Is that the only parent involvement on it?
No, there's communication. They can actually directly communicate with me as well.
Or they can they go on there, like I think the old system or the current system, you could just pull up the app and see where the bus is. Is that correct? Or is that my misunderstanding of how the current system works?
No, it'll with the new system, it'll actually give you an ETA of when the bus will be there. This current system does not.
But does it, is there live tracking?
There is not live tracking. There is on our part. There's not live tracking.
Like on the district part, but not on the parents.
Correct.
Is
but
there on the current system?
There is, but there's a lag, and it doesn't always work. This one will notify the parent a few minutes before that the bus is on their way, and so they'll be able to get their kiddo out to the stop.
Anybody have any other questions? No. Do we have a motion to either approve, disapprove, or table this?
I'll make a motion, we table this. What was, you said, the additional information that was asked about?
Which was additional quotes?
Yeah,
Three
the three
quotes.
quotes, I think Ms. Sands had some questions about ridership.
People signed up. I just want to make sure
Right.
what we're wanting from that.
There was a bunch of questions, so there were.
Yeah, okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor to table? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, it's tabled. Go to item number 14, consider approval of CDW purchase.
Well, being this goes with the other.
W-
that's
Do we,
sort of
but don't we have to
engaged.
table it also?
Yeah.
Make that motion to table.
I'll make,
Do we have a motion to table?
I'll make a motion, we table item 14.
Motion by Randall. We have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor to table? Motion carries to table. Good. Item number 15, consider approval of Buck's will.
That was the one, ma'am, that we're gonna go ahead and skip past.
Skip past that one,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Got item number 16, consider approval of local policy changes as listed in policy update 125, including, and that was the big list from,
Yes, ma'am, these are local policies here. The one here, BDB local, deals with our board organization. Basically, it states this policy is revised to clarify the distinction between board committees and advisory committees. Then you have BDF local, which talks about board internal organization and advisory committees. Again, they want to change the subtopic, change from citizen advisory committees to advisory committees, just some language changes. EI local deals with academic achievement. It's revisions to the partial credit combined for grade with the average of for clarity and awarding credit when a student only passes half of a course. Like sometimes you have a kid that fails one semester, but he passed the other semester, and you average them out from the past, just clarifying that information, the language a little bit. Then you have FDE local, which deals with school safety transfers. They recommend that bullying is included as an offense for the district, and we have to collect that data in the Safe Schools Data Act. And last one, you have FEC local, which deals with attendance for credit. Attendance for credit here, revisions aims for clarity, incorporating information on absences into absence to consider for readability. The policy now authorizes the administrations to establish attendance committees rather than the board to do so.
I have a question about FDE local.
Yes,
So
sir.
is that school safety transfer, does that also regulate whether or not we accept transfers from like, so we don't accept transfers, but if Midlothian had a kid who was being severely bullied, they have the right to transfer out of Midlothian to a surrounding district? Does that address whether we accept those transfers, or does that?
No, it doesn't, sir. Right now, we don't accept any outside transfers from other districts.
Okay, thank you.
any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve, the local policy changes.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. We'll go to item number 17, consider approval of employee handbook for the 25-26 school year. Mr. Martinez.
Good evening. All right, we're going to start with the Board of Trustees. They changed the deadline for required notice of board meetings from 72 hours to 3 business days. So they want to make sure that you guys get 3 business days, not 72 hours that could be on Friday to Monday instead, business days.
Does Friday count as one of our business days, or is it, because we're only 4 days, does that change for us?
It depends if we work that Friday or not.
Okay, fair.
ADA accommodations, they add a new topic describing the process for initiation and request for reasonable accommodations because of the disability. And then they added the ADA coordinator, which will be myself. Breaks for expression of breast milk, they removed the implementation date in local consideration, as well as Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. The date was removed as well. Next one, outside employment and tutoring. They added information related to the restrictions on school administrators' performance of outside employment. What they added, it says administrators may not receive financial benefits for performing personal services for any business entity that conducts or solicits business with the district. So they're trying to cut down on people making extra money. Staff development. They added requirements to annually review the TA clearinghouse, which Region 11 does anyways. That's where we get our trainings from. They also added the mental health training, which is also included in our mandatory training from Region 11 that everyone has to complete. In paychecks, they added a placeholder for contact for questions. You know, they didn't need to, because who do you call? Contact payroll. Local procedures for implementing family and medical leave. It was before where if you went on FMLA, you have to use your days, whatever days you have in the state, local days. Now they said you have a choice to say no. I don't want to use my days. I'll just take a paid doc and then I'll use my days later.
Quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is, I have an HR brain, so back me up. So just making sure that this translates over. So if they take FMLA, right, that they're on a protected leave,
Yes.
typically we would make them use their local days to pay themselves because they didn't get short-term disability for the pay. They just got the approval for the leave. And
Yes.
now they can just take it unpaid as long as it is medically approved?
Yes.
Okay.
Temporary disability leave in local considerations, they added directions for District of Innovation Districts to address whether temporary disability leave is extended for non-certified teachers. That I found out that we don't do that for uncertified teachers. So our DOI teachers do not get temporary disability leave. And what reads is any full-time employee whose position requires certification from the State Board for Educator Certification is eligible for temporary disability leave. The purpose of temporary disability leave is to provide job protection to full-time educators who cannot work for an extended period of time because of mental or physical disability of a temporary nature. Next one is standard of conduct. They removed the Crown Act implementation date in the third paragraph in local consideration. I was trying to find out what the Crown Act, what is the Crown Act, It's hair, yeah. It's creating a respectful and open world of natural hair. That's what it is. It's a bill prohibiting race-based hair discrimination in Texas workplaces, schools, and housing. Harassment of students. They edited the fourth paragraph and directions for inserting local procedures for reporting harassment. We already have a good policy, and it states that any person who may report sex discrimination, including sexual harassment, whether or not the person reporting is the person alleged to be the victim of conduct that could constitute sex discrimination or sexual harassment, in person, by mail, by telephone, by electronic mail, using the contact information for Title IX coordinator as well. Next, reporting suspected child abuse.
In that previous one,
Yes, sir.
we have a program we use for reporting, don't we? Yeah, I mean, reporting harassment. Should we put that in the handbook is that in the employee handbook of what the program is? I hope all our teachers would know it, but seeing how I don't know it.
It's not in the handbook, so we can't put it in there.
I just didn't know if that's, I mean, now if you change it next year, you gotta change it in the handbook every year, so I don't know if there's it says by electronic, means, but, I just didn't know if that's something we wanna put in there to remind them just an idea.
Okay.
Y'all may decide against it.
Reporting suspected child abuse. Changes were made in the first 5 paragraphs to meet the new reporting deadline and procedures required by Senate Bill 571. It used to be where you had 48 hours to report. They cut it down in half to 24 hours. And then it also states that you have to report it to either DFPS or law enforcement. And what we found out that our police department is not considered law enforcement. So it has to be from DPS, city police department, county sheriffs, or county constable's offices.
And that says, can you go back to that one? So it says or.
Yes.
We've always been trained that you have to report it to Child Protective Services, and you also may report it to police, but, so if they report it just to the city police, aren't they by law, don't they have to report to CPS?
Well, we do CPS first.
I know, but according to this, it's professional legally required to report suspected child abuse to the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services or law enforcement.
Yeah, if they do that, then they'll report it to CPS and they'll work together to.
So it is not legal that they have to report to CPS.
No, but that's
Do
our.
we have a district policy that says they have to report to CPS?
Yes, sir, that was the previous policy.
So now it's or, so that removes the teachers, obligation to report it to CPS?
That's to be for CPS or law enforcement, yes, sir.
And SB 571 reporting for principals. Principals must report the following type of misconduct involving a student or minor to their superintendent within 48 hours. Physical abuse, threats of violence, romantic or sexual relationships, and inappropriate communication or boundary violations. And then the superintendent has 48 hours to report it to TEA, and it used to be 10 days. But I'll take care of that, boss. I'll report it for you.
10 days, 48 hours.
Yep.
I disagree, it's important.
Next one, sexual abuse and maltreatment of children. Changes were made to reflect amendments to the definition of abuse. They added including conduct that constitutes the offense of continuous sexual abuse of a young child or disabled individual, indecency with a child, improper relationships between an educator and a student, sexual assault, or encouraging a child to engage in sexual conduct, as well as failure to make a reasonable effort to prevent sexual conduct with a child. Maltreatment is defined as abuse or neglect. So they went very specific. Next one, report to Texas, to TEA. Topic moved from they just moved the topic from the termination section, which as a result of SB 571, to the employee conduct and welfare. Next one, technology resource. They added an optional bullet addressing appropriate use of artificial intelligence. So they added that artificial intelligence should only be used as a support tool to improve student outcomes, not to replace the decision made by teachers or students. Personal use of electronic communications. They added a reference to the policy CY. They also reference to Twitter to X in the first paragraph. And they edited the third bullet in the third paragraph to reflect policy CY, which is intellectual property, copyright, and it now includes trademarking as well. Next one, criminal history background checks. They edited to reflect requirements to conduct criminal history checks on all employees. Now it reads, all employees are subject to a review of their criminal history record information at any time during employment. And usually it was when you first get hired, you get a background check. Now, if we get an email stating that you did something, then I get to pull it again to see what you did. Employee arrest and convictions. They edited the third and fourth paragraphs to reflect reporting in SB 571. They added if an employee is arrested or criminally charged, the superintendent is also required to report the educator's criminal history to the Division of Investigation at TEA. The superintendent is required to report the misconduct or criminal history of an employee to TEA. Information about the misconduct or allegations of misconduct of an employee obtained by a means other than the criminal history clearinghouse will be reported to TEA. So it's it's a Microsoft Word document where you just add the information of the individual, what they did, and then you load it into TA, and then they take over and see if it requires a more deep investigation, or as long as they know and we don't hear about it, then I guess we're good. Tobacco and nicotine products and e-cigarette use.
So they come up here and they said they were charged with a crime, because it didn't say felony.
Yes.
It said a crime.
Yes.
What impetus is there put on the district to do, I mean, we're reporting TEA because we didn't think it needed further investigation, because it was something that was trivial didn't affect their teaching job. Are we supposed to put them on leave until TEA makes that determination? You said we'll wait till TEA, if they don't call us, then, I mean, does that person stay in their teaching role if it was theft over $750? I don't know if that necessarily affects your ability to be a teacher. It does maybe hit the moral code a little bit, but I didn't know what, it used to be we decided whether that reported TEA. If we didn't think it was bad enough, we didn't report it, but.
And that's when we decide, and we also would look at, the crime that they.
We leave them in their teaching role until TEA calls us and tells us they're yanking their certificate?
I believe so. unless it is, for sexual conduct or anything. Yeah.
There's things that you would pull automatically. There are
Yep.
reasons to get arrested that have nothing to do with, their job as an educator.
Yes, sir.
So let's say that for you, like a DWI.
Let's say you get in a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Not with your spouse, like not spouse abuse, just get in a fight in general, and you're arrested for simple battery, which is maybe a misdemeanor, but you were arrested. It doesn't have anything to do with, so now you gotta report to superintendent and then you have to report to the TEA.
And TA decides whether
And then
they pick up the case.
What do we do in that?
Is that for consistency? Like, is that just for, I mean, I don't know, is that just for, like, TAs now making those calls for consistency?
Yes, they're getting very strict on. The complaint was that they never did anything to people that this stuff that was very serious.
I get the policy, I just question what the position they put you in of, do we put that person on paid leave until TA calls 6 weeks later and says, it's just simple battery, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We're sitting there paying the $30.
Meanwhile, we got Facebook blown.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, that happens in the real world every day, people. That's amazing, man.
All right, next, tobacco and nicotine products and e-cigarettes. They just removed the and nicotine products off the definition. It says the state law prohibits smoking using tobacco or e-cigarettes, but it's used to say using tobacco and nicotine products, so they took that off. Next, copyrighted materials, editorial change to the first sentence. They just added federal copyright law and policy to there. And emergency school closing, they just added the policy reference. Resignations, they updated the 4th and 6th paragraph to reflect the revised reporting requirements in SB 571. The update states the principal is required to notify the superintendent of an educator's resignation within 7 business days, and the superintendent must report it to SBEC. Yes, and based on the next page.
Because, and it also used to be that you didn't have to report it to SBEC, right? It was at the superintendent's discretion if you reported it, but now you have to report it?
If any of the reasons on the next page, the principal is required to notify the superintendent of an educator's resignation within 7 business days of the following: certain misconduct, abuse, unlawful act, involvement of solicitation of a romantic relationship with a minor, soliciting or engaging in sexual contact with a student or minor, inappropriate communication with a student or minor, failure to maintain appropriate boundaries with a student or minor, possession, transfer, sale, or distribution of controlled substance, illegal transfer, appropriation, or expenditure of district or school property or funds, and exempt by fraudulent or authorized means to obtain or alter any certificate or permit to the purpose of promotion or additional compensation, and committing a criminal offense or any part of a criminal offense on district property or at a school-sponsored event.
But this is dismissal or non-renewal or contract employee. The slide before was resignation, so it's 2 different things.
Yes, but if you always want to go to get the resignation so that it's cheaper for the district, and based on what they resigned is if we decide if we report or not.
The way I'm reading that one over there, can you go back? Did you put this slide together, or was this a slide that you took from there?
That I took from theirs.
So, the principal is required to notify the superintendent of an educator's resignation within 7 business days, and the superintendent must report to SBEC.
Yes.
What's
So-
SB 571? Will that give us further clarification?
Because the way I read that is, if somebody just resigns in the middle of the year, which they, in the past, and you could, but a lot of times it was like, well, it's just such a pain to even report it to SBEC, and you had that option not to. The way this reads to me now is, you have to report it if they, is how I'm reading that.
Yes, when I looked up SB 571, it deals with required misconduct reporting notices.
The next slide is in lieu of.
Yeah.
If they resign in lieu of being terminated, then you have to report it.
So
I always
if
thought
somebody,
you had to report it, maybe it wasn't.
so So if somebody just resigns in the middle of the year, you don't have to report that?
No, ma'am.
If they just resign because they want to leave?
No, ma'am. And this here, what happens a lot of times, and I know Mr. Buck's familiar with this here, and some of you may be, to where some school districts a person would have some misconduct. If you just get out of town, will look the other way.
Right.
Yes, that was going on quite a bit in the state of Texas. No more.
That's good. No more.
Okay. The next one? Dismissal of non-contract employees. They updated the policy reference, and they updated the second paragraph to reflect reporting requirements in SB 571, and it's the same report requirement as the prior slide, where if you did something that required us for.
It must not have been it was always told us it was mandatory to report it in lieu of termination. Like when you're having your job application, it says, have you ever been, I don't know, have you been convicted of a crime, but have you ever resigned in lieu of being terminated? We always thought it was, but maybe it wasn't legal. Now it's legal.
And they were even fining superintendents, I believe it was a $10,000 fine if they found that it would not report it, yeah.
10 years ago, they passed that. It was like, you had to
Next, discharge of convicted employees. Updated the offenses requiring employee discharge, which an offense requiring the registration as a sex offender, improper relationship between an educator and a student, sale, distribution, or display of harmful materials to a minor, public indecency, or a felony offense involving school property. So there's the school property one.
the Coldplay rule comes in.
Next. Reports to Texas Education Agency. The topic was edited to move to the Employee Conduct and Welfare as a result of SB 571, which amended reporting requirements for all employing and is no longer limited to resignations and terminations. Any questions? Yeah, there were a lot of changes. It was pretty much putting it more on campuses, especially when it comes to hurting kids.
Did anybody have any other questions? Nope. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the employee handbook for the 25-26 school year.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. Item 18, consider approval for the 25-26 T-test appraisers list. Dr. Morgan? Never mind. Disregard.
I'm required as a superintendent to submit the list of certified appraisers to the school board yearly. This is a list of everybody in the district that will be conducting, that are authorized to conduct appraisals and walkthroughs and documentation on staff members. As you can see this year, I added an alternate. Kelly Petersay came to me and volunteered to be an alternate. I think an alternate is very important if, say, for instance, you have a teacher that received an evaluation. They disputed that evaluation. She's not on the campus. She's just a party that's outside, separate office. She can give an honest opinion on that teacher. So this is the current list of administrators that are authorized for the following school year to conduct T-tests, T-test walkthroughs and T-test observations on teachers. Are there any questions on this list?
I'm just looking at Miss Ortiz is the only one over at the primary. Does she need anyone else to help, or?
I think we solved that today. I think she interviewed a person. She interviewed several people. The committee didn't like them people. She interviewed a final person today, and she found a candidate, and that candidate did accept. So she will not be the only one over there, ma'am.
And the two that were hired over at the elementary, they'll be able to help Miss Whitworth?
Yes, ma'am. They have to go through their T-test certification first. If you're not on this here list, you're not T-test certified.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 25-26 T-test appraisal list.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Gotta go to item number 19, consider,
Madam President,
Yes, sir. That is correct. If you are not certified, I will guarantee that you will be certified, or you will not conduct the T-test observation on staff members, because it's kind of hard to hold teachers accountable when that observation is not a legit observation.
go to item number 19, consider approval of instructional materials purchases for middle school social studies. Dr. Morgan.
Yes, sorry. Thank you for allowing me to talk about this tonight. This is not entirely brand new to the middle school, so it's the same social studies school service provider that we used last year. These materials, though, are brand new and written specifically for Texas Middle School. And the materials that they're going to provide are more akin to a true HQIM, which means they come with lessons, like established units, lessons, supports for teachers, videos, assessments, all of those things that you would expect in instructional materials. What they had last year was more of a compilation, a curation of resources that the teachers struggled with last year, of how to put them together, how to organize them, and then how to plan lessons with them. So these specific middle school resources are going to be much more user-friendly for our teachers, and so the students are going to get a much more coherent and TEKS-aligned instruction for all 3 grade levels. Particularly where we saw gaps last year was in grade 6, that it didn't quite have what we needed for 6th grade TEKS, and then also a little bit more for Texas history, which is usually lacking in social studies materials, because if you may not believe this, but Texas is in fact the only state that requires Texas history. I know, it's crazy. So sometimes we see that there's that gap there for Texas history. But the middle school social studies team, and along with Ms. Buck, have looked at the previews that we've received, and do want to have these materials instead.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the question that we ask every time. Are we sure we need all of the books that we are purchasing because we do not use them in other grade levels?
Unfortunately, these materials are only being sold with the digital plus print combination. So they are not selling the digital license only. So if we're gonna use them, we have to get the print workbooks. I mean, I suppose we could just refuse the shipping, but we're still paying for it. So we're gonna work with the teachers in their PLC time to help them understand how to use the print workbooks intentionally, and so that it won't just be a waste. So hopefully we will not see them just sitting in the corner creating a new bookshelf.
And then as far as we've budgeted for this amount?
So this is going to come out of our instructional materials allotment, and yes, there is enough there for this purchase. And then hopefully next year they will get some feedback that maybe the print workbooks are not as necessary, hoping, but if not, this would be an annual renewal cost.
Okay. Did anybody have any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the instructional material purchases for the middle school.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go to item number 20, consider approval for Public Funds Investment Act training providers for fiscal year 25-26.
Good evening. All right, so each year the board is required to approve the Public Investment Funds Act training providers. So these are the providers that we are requesting to be used. Texas Class is a new one, but it's free. So if we can use that, we will use that. So that's why we've put that one added on there. TASBO, you'll know, TEA, North Central Texas Council of Governments, that's been used a lot. Texas State, Texas Municipal League, and Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts. So right now our policy is both Lanny and I are the public investment officers, and we both got to do 10 hours of training this year. It's a flaw to me in the legislature because I was an investment officer at my prior district, but because I switched districts, they think I've lost that knowledge from A to B. So you have to start all over when you move to a new district, which is kind of silly. So, but now we're on the only 8 hours every other year. Hey, I was very thankful that Venus let me use my compliance training from my former district, and I did not have to do all that over again because that's miserable too.
Does anybody have any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Public Funds Investment Act training.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Donald. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 21, consider approval of Candor Consulting contract for fiscal year 25-26.
So Candor is who we're recommending using the contract for the school psychologist and the speech language. Yes, both of them. We really negotiated with them. We use them currently in the 24-25 school year. Their price was not competitive on one of the services, so we told them we were going to use them for one and not the other. And I don't know, all of a sudden, the price came down and we got to use them for both.
I'll make that motion.
Does anybody have any questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion that you approve the Candor Consulting contract.
A motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
Randall Buck.
I'll second. A second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Item 22, consider approval of Superior Pediatrics contract for fiscal year 25-26.
So we've used Superior in the past. We use them for occupational therapy, physical therapy.
Do anybody have any questions? Do we have a motion, Randall?
Oh, okay, I'll make a motion to approve the Superior Pediatric contract.
Got a motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Item number 23, consider approval to join Allied States Purchasing Co-op.
So this is a Region 19 co-op, and this is just, you'll see it, I think the next 4 agenda items are all co-ops that we're requesting to belong to. This just helps us with purchasing. It gives some more tools in the toolboxes that the items are already procured, and we wouldn't have to do an RFP if they're in these co-ops.
Okay, do we have any questions?
Is there a financial gain to being in these co-ops? Like, do you get things cheaper?
You do get them cheaper because they've been procured already. And to do an RFP, to put an RFP out on the street from the time that I would put it out and the board would approve it is probably a good 2 months. So if a campus is needing something, 2 months is a long time to wait.
Yeah.
So using the co-ops, because it's already been procured, then they don't have to wait.
But they do, because they probably have a larger buying power.
Yes.
It's cheaper through them also.
Yeah, and the co-ops, the vendors know that with the co-ops, especially small school districts, Fort Worth and Dallas is probably putting RFPs out, but smaller districts aren't going to be able to do that as easily. So they know they're going to get bigger buying power using, by bidding on the co-ops.
With being in these co-ops, does that force you to get from these co-ops, or can you still go outside of quality or
You can go outside of them. I would think that almost anything that you can want by adding these co-ops and what we already have, you're going to be able to find it on a co-op.
There are some sole providers. But
There are some, but
there's like 7 or 8 co-ops we're a member of.
Yeah.
I've been in those situations where you've got strategic vendors and stuff like that, and you're stuck with them, and I can get it cheaper and better quality over here, but I can't. So I wasn't sure if that was the same.
I think we work well with the campuses, and that's how some of these co-ops have come, as a campus or a department has said, we need X, Y, Z, and the vendor says they're on this co-op, so I'll bring it to the board and say, you know, can we join this co-op?
Why is Ms. Gore's name so much bigger than everybody else's? I mean,
She's the president.
literally, it's like 3 fonts bigger than everybody else's. There's no be president. I mean,
She's better.
My accountant says it's the default setting.
Okay, I do
That's
have
not true. We know why.
be nice to Ms. Gore.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Can we make one motion for all of these?
No.
No, I'm
No.
sorry. We contemplated trying to put them on one agenda item, but each one needs their own. So
In case we didn't want one or something. right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
I just
so-
tried to generically tell you about all of them. If we can want to go through each one, we can.
Any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Joint Ally State Purchasing Co-op.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
Randall Bug.
Second
I
by
was just voting.
second by
I'm sorry,
Kirby.
I'm sorry.
All in favor? Motion carries.
Forgot my place for a moment.
Go to item number 24. Consider approval to join CTPA Purchasing Co-op. Did anybody have any questions? Do we have a motion?
There you go, Joe.
Got a motion by Joe. Do we got a second?
Second.
Second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 25. Consider approval to join Epic 6 Purchasing Co-op Region 6. Did anybody have any questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve to join the Epic Sick Purchasing.
A motion by Amber. Do we have a second? Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 26. Consider approval to join SCTX Purchasing Co-op Region 5. Do we have any questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the joint SCTX Purchasing Co-op.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second? Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 27, consider approval of prevailing wage rates, including rates for holidays and overtime work for the district's construction projects.
So we are required by law to approve, the board to approve a prevailing wage rate. This is the Johnson County prevailing wage rate. It will be up to the contractor to uphold this, but it's our job as the district to approve it.
Anybody have any questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Joe. Do we have a second? Second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 28, consider approval of the teacher salary schedule.
Okay, so we all know House Bill 2 passed at the end of the legislative session, which gave a $4,000 raise to steps 3 and 4. So on this salary schedule, you'll see that we've added 2 extra columns. One says teacher retention allotment for steps 3 and 4 at $4,000 and steps 5 and up at $8,000. Then you'll see the next column for local funds for steps 0 through 2. So what we're proposing is to also, the state's going to pay for the teacher retention allotment on that column. What we're proposing is that Venus ISD, out of our local funds, with the additional funding of House Bill 2, to add $4,000 to each of the steps of 0, 1, and 2.
And that's because the state did not
The
do
state did-
anything for those.
That is correct.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? No? Do we have a motion?
Oh,
No?
Ms. Gore, can you
Oh,
hold on
yes,
just a
I can
second?
hold.
Okay, on the next one, so when the state did this, right now, the teachers, librarians, and nurses are all in the teacher pay scale. However, the state did nothing for the librarians and the nurses, only the teachers. So what we're proposing is to pull out the librarians and nurses and put them on a separate scale and add a $4,000 stipend, a $4,000 local funds out of our budget out of our additional HB2 money for a 0 to 5 and then, or 0 to 4, and then 5 and up would be 8,000. This is 2 employees. Yes. So once again, the state did nothing for them, even though they're getting paid on the same scale that the teachers are.
Is there-
Yes, with the additional money that we got from HB2 and some other little pockets of money, we can afford this.
And was this in this is just the state side, like not what we've already decided on?
Right, this will be
was
an
that
additional
addition.
amount
Okay.
for all of those employees affected.
Making sure that was still there.
Now, we have 5 employees that are on 5 teachers that are on a contract above 166 days. Those 5 teachers will get whatever the teacher retention allotment is. That amount will not be prorated. So usually their base pay, so say they're a 0-year teacher, you take their 46,725, divide it by 166, and then multiply it out by the number of days they work. That is still going to be there for that base pay, but the teacher retention allotment will be exactly what the state is giving us.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Any questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Good job, Donald. Motion by Donald. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Item 29, consider approval of a one-time retention stipend.
So this is the same document that we saw in the budget workshop. So we're proposing the $1,000 stipend for all full-time employees, and any part-time employees would get $500. This will be a one-time stipend that they will receive on August 1st, pending board approval.
Any questions?
And this is for this school year only and no assurance of it carrying on.
Correct. And this is stemming from changing from the September 1st to the July 1st, and the extra money that we're going to put back in fund balance to try to reward the teachers that stayed. So if they are brand new to Venus this year, they will not get it. You had to be in Venus last school year in order to receive this money on August 1st.
And this is all employees?
This is all employees.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, I'm trying to, it's a very scenario question. So say there's an employee that for some reason was offered a contract, who's already stated they're resigning 21 days after the school year starts.
So
Do they get the retention bonus?
So what was stated when this was said back in May was it will be prorated. So say, Lanny, don't take offense to this. So we give Lanny $1,000 on August 1st, and Lanny comes to me on April 1st and said, I'm going to go work at Dallas ISD. When we do his payoff, it is going to be calculated how much of that $1,000 he earned, and the part that he did not earn by not staying for the full year will be deducted from their final check.
And with that, how are we getting approval or getting them to sign? Because you have to have somebody sign if you're gonna take something out of their paycheck. Are you doing that when they hand it out? Are they signing something saying, I know if I do not work this certain amount of time, that it's gonna be taken out of my final paycheck? Or are we gonna try and, after they've resigned and we've already paid it, are we gonna try and get them to sign something after the fact, and then they say, I'm not signing that, and we don't get our money back?
So I've done this in a prior district, and we never really had trouble. We sent out an email when they got it that said that's what we were doing, and we didn't have trouble. I know that we have DocuSign, so I can work with Mr. Martinez, and maybe we can send something through DocuSign that everybody signs.
I mean, probably the likelihood of a bunch of people resigning and then we don't get our money back. But I just know that in order to deduct it from somebody's paycheck, you do have to have
We lost
approval.
4 people mid-year around Christmas, so that would have applied to 4 different people who left on not
Yeah.
cordial terms, so they probably would have been, oh, sure, here's
I mean,
$500 back.
yeah, I mean, I'm
And most of the time, they have enough in their final check that, you know, we can take it.
if we have their signed
yes.
approval to deduct it from their pay, though.
So let me work with Mr. Martinez and see if we can get a DocuSign out to everybody on the first when that check goes out.
Okay.
Not a silly question, but so when do we anticipate them receiving this money?
August 1st. Convocation.
Because they were promised in a previous that they would get a check at convocation by a previous administrator, so I just.
Yes.
If they're not
Yeah.
going to, then maybe they
And
need to
and
communicate.
and I'm gonna preface that we say check loosely. It will be a direct deposit.
Yeah. Hey, money, yeah.
Well, I mean, they gotta get the money.
Yes. I just don't want you to think that we're gonna hand out physical checks because
That's
we're
a
not.
bit of buzz going around. They haven't heard anything else about it, and they're gonna. It's the first day of school. Let's be on a positive note.
Yes.
I don't want a bunch of people leaving.
No.
with a,
Yeah.
you know, people-
We just needed to wait till the July board meeting to get the board to approve this. But payroll's already been working on it.
Yeah, just waiting for it.
Just waiting for it. Yes.
Any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the one-time retention stipend.
Motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? All in favor? Motion carries. I didn't see it. So it wasn't up if I didn't see it. We'll go to item number 30, consider approval of budget amendment number 1.
So this budget amendment pays for the retention stipend that we just approved. So this is taking it out of fund balance, but remember, we're gonna put it back in and we're just taking it back out.
Any questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment.
Got a motion by Amber. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kirby. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 31, reports.
Yes, ma'am. I'll go ahead and start out by saying it's been a fast start to the new school year. We have a lot of great things going on. Right now, all the purchasing orders for the start of the school year has been made and all the food is ordered, so we're ready to start at the cafeteria. I'm really proud of Coach Gober. We have a record number of 15 coaches that's attending coaching clinic, which is big for us. Normally, we only have 4 or 5 people that are attending, so we do have 15 down there going through the training. All the campuses, technology reports that they all have student Chromebooks are ready to be issued to students at the beginning of the school year. Major maintenance issues have been addressed, and principals report that the campus are ready to welcome students. There's nothing major. We just have some basketball courts that are going up this week. That's the one major thing we have, and we have some AC things we have to address, like 6 ACs, but that will be fixed prior to the start of school. Other than that, we're conducting, I'm proud of Chief, he's leaning forward, we're conducting the reunification training for all the schools. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out, get that done, because the campuses have never been over to the Cowboy Church. So we're going to go ahead down there and show them what happens when we have to do an evacuation. I think that's critical. But it's been a fast start to the school year, ma'am.
And any questions anybody have on any of the reports? No? Okay, item number 32, board requests for additional items.
I had asked a few months ago about an investigation into possible use of the TEACS resource system, and I haven't heard anything back from, that was previous to our administrative change, but it's a old C-scope, y'all know, I mean, TEACS resource is a curriculum that provides a ton of support for our teachers.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. That was something I met with curriculum when assuming this here job, and I've met with the principals. The principals did want to roll that out, but I told Dr. Morgan that's discussion to start having in January because of the implementation phase and the training phase, which I think right now it's not something that we can roll out at this current time because there's been no training that's been conducted. So what she's done in the meantime, she's got with curriculum, got with our testing coordinator. She's tightened up the Bulldog backpack is what she calls it. She's looked at the scope and sequence. She's identified what standards are critical that teachers teach and what are supporting standards to have more focus on that. We've beefed up I'm now requiring after the CBAs to conduct data meetings. I did let what was tight, we're conducting data meetings after common base assessments, our CBAs. But what is loose, the campus principals got together and collaborated on what that meeting looks like. The guidance I gave them the script I use as a principal. They didn't have to use that, but they're coming up with their own. I just wanted it scripted in 30 minutes. That way we stay on task. But I think that is a valuable resource, but right now is not the time to roll that out. We'll have that discussion in January and come up with a solid plan, sir.
Any other requests for additional information? No? And just to be clear, we're all going to Houston?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll let you know the dates, because we're all going at different times. If your laugh wasn't complicated enough.
Yeah. Okay, so our next meeting is August 18th, our regular meeting, August 18th. And
Mr. Gatewood, can I interject?
Yes, ma'am.
We have a special board meeting on August 4th to approve the bonds sale.
August 4th, special meeting? What day is that on?
That's a
It's
Monday.
a Monday?
It's a Monday.
Okay, 6 p.m.? 6 p.m.? 6?
That's Meet the Teacher? August 4th?
August 4th, yes.
That's Meet the Teacher?
August 4th?
Is there is there a better time that we can do it? Because everything is in motion to sell the bonds that day, and the board's got to approve the bond sale.
That day?
Yes.
Okay.
How long will it take to do it?
I would say, I mean, bond
we only
counsel will
need
be here,
4.
but 15 minutes at the most.
I mean, we only need 4 people.
We just need a quorum.
I just
What?
recommend to do it in the morning and not the afternoon, because it'll be crazy, because it's Meet the Teacher all across the campus. I'm just.
It won't be in the morning because we got to sell the bonds in the morning.
Oh, well,
So,
It's on a-
sorry.
And it's on a Monday.
I'll be there. Yeah. I'll be there.
I can be here, so there's 4. We got 4.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We've got 4 at least.
Okay.
So our next
Sorry.
meeting,
Sorry.
our next meeting, August 4th at 6 p.m. and then our next scheduled, regular scheduled meeting will be August 18th.
You'll let us know on time.
6 o'clock
6.
works if that works for you guys.
Yeah.
If it's us 4, I can be here probably at 5.
Earlier the better for me, but it's whatever.
You tell
Well,
me. I mean, we can
could
make
be
it
here
Friday.
I can't be here at 5, but I can be here at 6, so I'd like to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 is fine.
My name's in big font. And we'll move to item number 33. We're going to adjourn at 9:03 p.m.